Hey traders, John Howell here. Going to be looking at the S&P 500 today, the Dow Jones, the Nasdaq. We did not get the reversal like I thought we did yesterday. Wrong. I actually said, you know what, we're probably likely to see some downside. Up we go today. It's really amazing that's what happened. Thank God I actually stick to my trading system, because even today I had a phenomenal trade, nice little short-term trade, phenomenal trade, beautiful. I've actually had 3 amazing trades this week so far already. Really short-term trades, in and out really quickly, but beautiful trades. Also the GDX and GDXJ and so on and so forth. What's really going on with them? We didn't really get any pullback today. What's really going on right now? What could we be seeing moving forward? Since we didn't get the lower high yet in the markets, what's really coming along and what are the charts trying to tell us? Let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video, because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, let's get straight into today's video. Hit the subscribe button, like button, bell button, click buttons, click everything. And also guys, make sure you grab that 95% off to my entire Master Trader Lab. I promise you that you will learn more, or you will make more progress by applying what you learn in the Master Trader Lab over the next 6 months than you have in the last 6 years. That is my promise. Go grab that right now. Very first link in the description. Now, moving on through to the Dow Jones. What's really going on with the Dow Jones? Now, yesterday I came out and said, look, there's a bearish engulfing pattern. And someone said in my YouTube channel, engulfing patterns mean nothing. And I looked at them just like, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. We didn't actually get a lower high yet, but we got an engulfing pattern. I'm like, oh, here we go. Here's the start, trying to get in early. But guess what happened? Bump, all right, completely retraced it and completely went up. Now, what's happening as we speak right now is that we haven't gotten any lower high yet, meaning we haven't got any downward movement. We still have a little bit of a gap here, which I believe will be filled maybe later in the year. But for now, guys, this was the chance. This high point here was sort of the chance. As you can see, this was sort of the chance for this thing, for the Dow Jones to start to roll over and start to create this lower high. Now, we are not doing that. Not yet anyway. We're not doing it, and we could continue to break up. So we haven't actually got the lower high yet. So the Dow Jones could be getting ready to race up to an all-time new high for the year. Moving on through to the S&P 500, I actually have a lot of long-term trend lines coming into play here. As you can see, even with the S&P 500, we're actually rejecting right at this. See how we've actually, let me try that again. You can see here that these last couple of times, hit rejection, once, twice, 3, 4 times. So this whole level through here is a rejection point, and this is a rejection point. If we start to clear this level, then we're probably going to race up to around about 3,600. Why 3,600? Because it's just above the high, and that'll be the target for the S&P 500. So we haven't actually gotten a lower high yet. A lower high would mean we start to get a bit of a down day like that, and then we probably start to see a movement. Once again, guys, I really thought that this engulfing pattern was going to be the start. It wasn't. So I got that wrong. Moving forward, looking at the markets now, and looking at the markets, is that the markets continued up today. But what is really the overall picture happening here? Okay, so we have this up move. So if we start to break this resistance level here, guys, we're probably going to race up to all-time new high for the markets once again. And the same for the Nasdaq. And I know this sounds pretty crazy, and I know this sounds like, whoa, what's really going on here? But same for the Nasdaq as well too. Actually, the Nasdaq actually had a whole bunch of resistance through here. As you can see, we had a whole bunch of resistance level through there. Somewhere through there. I'm just trying to find probably something going on through there. There's a bit of a point through there. As you can see, we're having a bit of a point through here as well too. A bit of a gap up. I didn't think that this gap up here was going to be some sort of breakaway gap, but it looks like it may actually be the breakaway gap, and Nasdaq might potentially start the race up to make an all-time new high again. I know that sounds crazy. We haven't got the low high yet. Again, engulfing pattern didn't work, and now we're turning around. Is this just the turnaround sign? Are we about to see a massive rally into the elections because the stimulus is going to get passed and all this sort of stuff? Let me know what you think in the chat box below. Moving forward now into the GDXJ, we haven't gone down, we haven't gone up after this once again massive engulfing pattern. But one thing I was talking about with my clients today, or some of my private clients today, was the fact that look what's happened through here. We are right at this, say, resistance and support level as we see here. This whole 50, 60, 57 is a major resistance level. Now here's the key, is that if we look at what's happening here, we broke down, rallied up, and now we've got an engulfing pattern. So that actually could mean we're about to start to see a downside movement to the downside. And so if we do, then obviously we're likely to continue down and blah, 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 okay? But what happens if we don't? What happens if we then start to really get back above, especially back above the 57 level? What does that mean then? That means then this here was just one big major false breakout out of this sideways pattern through here. And if we do get back up, if we hold here, especially right now, and get back above 57, then to me, then it's on for the bulls, and we're probably going to race up to all-time new highs again, and probably even break a new high eventually. It'll probably do something like this. It'll race up, hit resistance, and then break up again, and so on and so forth. So that's what I'm seeing through the GDX. We've still got this engulfing pattern, so we still could see something like that. We haven't actually gotten that yet, so that's actually something to keep an eye out for, guys. One thing I was talking about with my with my clients, and actually. Look at me. I highlighted this low, and look at this was a sort of a reversal pattern. Is a candlestick reversal thingamajiggy through here. If you guys know what that is, leave a comment below. I forget the actual terminology of this pattern here, where the market opens lower and closes more than 50% of the candle beforehand. Let me know what you think about that. Same for the GDX as well too. The exact same thing as I said before. Broke down, rallied up, had a big strong down candle. Are we about to continue seeing a downward movement? We'll have to wait and see on a short term. Now guys, this is on the short term, right? I'm just gauging what's happening day by day by day. Long term, if you ask me where are we likely to be at 2023, I'm like, way up. That's it. Right now, we're just trying to gauge what's happening on a short term basis, because if you are smart, and I was talking about this with my clients, there's actually amazing short-term trading opportunities that may last for a few weeks or more within the mix of what's happening right now. And if you're patient and you're waiting for the right setups, you can actually make some nice little coin on a short-term trades here, which means what I mean is like for a couple of days or maybe even for a couple of weeks. So that's a short-term trade for me. Like a long-term trade could mean, maybe hold it for a few weeks or to a month. And then you have my investing type of trades, which I'm holding for many years to come. And once again, the exact same formations, looking at the SILJ, rallied up, we actually broke down. We haven't continued down yet. So are we going to continue getting this lower high or not? If we don't, this whole thing is going to be a false breakout out of this channel. If we get back above the 1450 level on the SILJ, then we're likely to probably race up to an all-time new high for the year. First target will be around about 1650, so you have around about a $2 movement in the SILJ, and the same for the SIL as well too, right? $45 on the SIL is the same sort of thing. Broke down, rallied up, hit rejection, came back down. Are we about to continue down here? Right now it says we're likely to continue doing that, but if we don't, once again guys, all the mining sectors I'm doing right now, that long term are bullish. Short term, we have to wait and see. Once again, if we continue to hold here and then go back above 45, this whole thing will be one big major false breakout. Moving on now through to gold. Gold is still in this major long-term sort of triangle pattern, as you can see through here. Massive triangle pattern. So wherever it breaks, we're probably likely to see a big move out of this. So if we do end up breaking back above, let's bring us a bit closer. If we break back above, say, the 1940s level, somewhere around about up here. Okay, if we start to break above 1940, we're probably going to raise up to all-time new high in total, right? Because this is the all-time new high back here. We're probably likely to hit 21,000, 2100, maybe even 2200 on gold. So we're squeezing up into, gold is squeezing up into a triangle pattern, and a big move will happen either way. If we break down, guys, get ready, because we're probably likely to see a move down to around about the 1700. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll have to wait and see for the breakout. And silver's a bit more of a harder one, because silver's not really giving us any triangle patterns or anything like that. We do have like a little bit of a sort of resistance point coming up through there, and we do have something coming on down through here. So you might call that a bit of a triangle pattern that's actually starting to squeeze up into. So we have to wait and see how that plays out. So it's not as of a nice of a triangle pattern. When you start to compare it to gold, gold has got a much nicer triangle pattern when it comes to that there. And once again, guys, all these patterns I'm talking to you about can be classed as trading opportunities. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to be doing. Only my private clients obviously know that. But obviously I have my trading system and the trades that I like to take as well too. And within this, guys, if you're just patient and waiting for some really good clear setups, you can do really well, especially if we don't have our ego involved. Yesterday I said, well, probably likely to drop to the downside. I didn't trade that. I had a few short-term bearish trades that I took, on an intraday basis. But I didn't just trade yesterday because I thought it was going to go down. It didn't give me enough clear signal for me to actually trade it. I really want to see a good clear setup, a good clear signal that this thing is likely to start to make a move. And then from that, I want to start to see, I'll be getting involved with it. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. Always be flexible with these markets, guys. Don't be bullish or bearish. You know, if you're long-term bullish these markets, like you might be long-term bullish gold and silver, then on a short-term basis, as you can see from what's happening through here, and if you guys remember back here, I was saying no FOMO with silver and gold. Don't be FOMO in the markets. People saying just buy it anyway, you know. Morons don't listen to me, and then suddenly we go through this pullback. We will get a pullback. We're getting a pullback now, which is good. Very volatile. The good thing about this is, once again, guys, the good thing about what's happening with gold is gold does this. You know, it's a continuation pattern for what we're seeing through here. So we're going through a bit of a resting phase right now with gold. It's setting up really nice. We had this very strong move up, which is like what we call an energy using phase. So we're using a lot of energy here. We're going up. Now we're going sideways. We're building a lot of energy. And if we can start to get a nice break out like that, we're probably like this energy that it built, we're probably likely to start to see a release, and an all-time new high in gold will likely happen if we do get that break to the upside. We have to wait and see what the market is going to tell us. But there's opportunities everywhere, guys, and just because you're long-term bullish silver and gold, which, guys, by the way, I already have a long-term silver position, meaning I'm in that, you know, until 2024, 2025. You know what I mean? Like that's where I believe by that time we're going to be making an all-time new high on silver. From what happens in the next few years, you know, we're going to get pullback swings. That's just the way bulls and bear market works. But I know probably by 2025, I'm going to make an absolute fortune on silver. I just have to sit on my hands and wait and watch these things unfold and be patient. So I hope you enjoyed this, guys. Once again, guys, if you really need help with your trading, then grab that 95% off, very first link in the description. I promise you that if you start to apply what you learn in the Master Trader Lab, you will make more progress in the next 6 months than you have in the last 6 years, because you will learn exactly the stuff that actually makes a difference to your trading, and not all this fluff and fillers and bullshit that you're going to learn out there as well too. So give it a like button, give it a subscribe button, and also, guys, if you also need some more help, if you're going through a hard time right now, then watch that cycle video that just appeared, and also there's another video there to help you out as well. Talk to you soon, guys.